Oh my God, we are live. Welcome back, everybody. My God, I'm out of
You all right there?
No, I think I just had an asthma attack. That was rough. Rough start. Holy cow. I'm pumped.
I gotta get pumped, bro. I need to wake up a little bit. Get this little C4 here.
This episode has, just going to let everybody know in advance, this episode has a chance to be an absolute legendary episode.
What's it about?
Things like golf. Things like golf. So we got an awesome episode for all of you. So don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Don't forget about it.
Don't forget about it, but forget about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bada bing, bada boom. So,
You ever had one of these?
That is a C4.
Yeah.
Wow. Arctic snow cone.
Yeah.
Wow.
Give it a pull, dude.
Yeah, let me actually get a pull of that.
It's my favorite flavor.
Oh my God, that's delicious.
It's not bad.
Yeah. You know what it reminds me of? A blue raspberry rock star, I think it is, or a monster or something
Yep.
like that.
Yeah,
there's
very
another
similar.
one that's very similar that I have had many
What do
times.
you got going on there?
So this is the Lagunitas Hoppy Refresher Sparkling Hop Water. So it's
Is this
water.
the one we had last time?
Yeah, same
Oh, okay.
thing.
But it gives you the facade.
It kind of tastes like a little bit like a cerveza, a little bit.
Oh,
Yeah.
very good. I'm joining you in the dry November, dry October.
Dry October.
Yeah, we're dry.
We're dry October.
Dry bros.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. People are starting to join in, so that's always a good sign. We haven't moved the show to Mondays yet.
Looks like we got Mr. Grant there.
Yeah. And then Kyle from Cart Barn Guys already chiming in. Love this. Here we go. You know, just getting ready for it. Buttsy loves it. He loves it. Trying to get this situated so that
Just pound this thing down, get fired up for the show, go home and figure out how the fuck you're gonna go to sleep tonight.
that's always fun, you know?
Watch that fan turn.
All right, it's game time. It's absolutely game time. I almost hit end stream. That would have been bad. You hate to see something like that. You know what I mean? All right. So everybody, all the cameras, all the different angles, in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody, to Pull Hook Golf, the podcast. I'm your host, Matt Cook, and tonight we've got an awesome episode for all of you. It is episode number 141 of the Pull Hook Golf podcast. I can't believe it. I know you can't believe it, how we are even on air at this point. It's fantastic stuff. But we got cameras everywhere tonight. We got some perfect lighting. Absolutely perfect.
This is me right here, right?
That's you right there. That's
is
me
my
right
special-
there.
my special boy
And then
right
we
there.
got the center frame right here. Of course, all of you that are on right now and viewing the live, we only got the one camera angle, okay? So don't expect like we're speaking to the other cameras. That is for the full production version that you got to catch Thursday mornings now. Thursday mornings, we've got an awesome video editor that works with us and gets those ready to go. So they will be released first thing Thursday morning.
What's his name?
Corey.
Corey.
We'll have to give him a shout out at some point.
Yeah, like little shout out.
Yeah.
Corey's doing a phenomenal job, by the way.
Absolutely phenomenal
Thus far,
job.
don't get fucking fired.
Just
Corey looks
absolute-
great so far.
Absolutely great job so far. We shall see. From Maximilian, he thought that was a beer in my hand. It is not. It is not.
Does say Lagunitas.
Yeah, so I am still on the water kick, which is fantastic for me.
Good for you.
The fake booze. Gives a good placebo effect, though.
Feel
But
healthier?
I do feel healthier. You
gotta
know,
be, right?
I do.
Yeah.
I mean, I got more energy. It's definitely saving me some money, so that's always a nice thing as well. But on tonight's episode, we've got a brand new segment, everybody. We've got the Tee Off Report. Okay,
Oh, that's right.
With Buttsy. This is his big moment. because
big moment. Don't build it up like that.
This is a big moment for you. I'm putting all the pressure on. And then we've got the pro golf recap where we're going to bring back in our tour insider, Mr. Brent Grant, at that point. So you got me burping now. Jeez. And in that pro golf recap, we got the Corn Ferry Tour Championship, got the Alfred Dunhill Links Championship, Sanderson Farms Championship. Then, of course, we got our special Swannies segment, the Swanie style segment to be exact, the Black Desert Championship preview, and then we got a little LIV Golf update for everybody as well. So if you're a LIV Golf lover or hater, you're probably going to want to stick around to the very, very end. But right now, I want to give a shout out to Swannies Golf. Folks, utilize our promo code, which is PullHookGolf25. You can use that at checkout for 25% off your entire order at Swannies.co. Here we go, folks. I'm rocking it tonight. I mean, this is their Stadium Village collection.
That's dope.
Feel it, because this fabric is so like soft.
Kind of a little rugby-ish?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah. I would say so. You know, they call it their Stadium Village collection, which is like...
Very
Stadium.
Star Trek, like very futury.
It's very nice. Like the fabric's very soft on the skin. And this maroon collection, I've got the hat here as well. I absolutely love Swannies and love them as a sponsor. So, folks, use promo code PullHookGolf25 for 25% off.
It's soft on the skin.
It's so soft. And that leads us right into the Tee Off Report, which is our brand new segment with Buttsy. And this is how we're going to get the episode started from here on out. Buttsy, I hope you're excited for this. So this is called Buttsy on a Soapbox. Okay.
Buttsy on a Soapbox.
Here we go. So I'm doing this for all of you, for the audience, right? What is the biggest pet peeves that you have with a golf partner, specifically when you're riding in a golf cart with somebody? Pet peeves.
Oh, boy. I would say, first off, I actually encountered this past weekend. The cooler, right? The cooler's not very big, and it's not designed for fucking water bottles, okay? If you're not drinking, you got water bottles out there, you either drink warm water or bring your own fanny pack with ice in it. Keep your water's out of the fucking cooler. You want to put little shooters in there? It's perfectly designed for a 6-pack of beer with ice on top of it, with enough room for some little shooters and maybe a peanut butter jelly sandwich or whatever various snacks that you might want. Keep your stupid fucking waters out of the cooler.
There you have it,
Pet
folks.
peeve.
What else? Anything else?
Oh, let's see. I'm left-handed, parking on the right side of me.
Oh.
And then having to do that whole...
Oh, I forgot you're a lefty.
That's really irritating.
How many times have I done that to you?
I think you did it one time. And you're
think so.
Yeah. And I'm like a good player. This will never happen again.
No.
Like you were a little ashamed of yourself.
I think I apologize. I go, I'm so sorry, man.
Excuse me.
So sorry.
So anyways, no, that and gosh, fix your ball marks, fix your divots.
Now, fixing your divots, because there's two types of grass that we get throughout the year here in Arizona. So at one point, you have to fill with sand. The other times, you want to replace the actual divot itself.
When do you replace it? I thought you always fill it with sand.
No. So
it's Bermuda.
Yeah. So when I was up at Desert Mountain, you do want, if it's ryegrass, so during the wintertime out here, we overseed. That's why golf courses shut down for a couple of weeks in Arizona. And with the ryegrass, you actually want to replace the divot, okay? Because that can regrow. When it's Bermuda, it just shreds, right? So during the summertime, you want to put the sand down.
Got it.
Okay. Now, if your divot, for instance, with the ryegrass is, or a similar light grass, right? You want to, if it is intact, you want to replace it. And you want to press it in so that it can regrow, reattach.
Can we go back real quick?
Yeah.
To the Cartner thing.
Yeah, we got
just popped in my head because I had this not this past weekend. I've had it before, but playing with somebody that you don't know well and you get paired up with that's pretty rare for me these days. I'm sure for you too. But someone that thinks they have a lot more golf game than they do and insists on bitching or walking around as though like a TV camera's on the whole day. Like they, I just don't usually hit it right. I can't stand that shit. I can't stand it.
I'm at a point in my life to where it's like, man, even if you're going to play bad, have a great time.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like I really dislike the guys that end up thinking that they're a pro and thinking that they're in a pro golf tournament out there and like every shot matters and they get so angry.
And these are the guys that have never probably played in a golf tournament too.
No.
That's usually, it's always those guys. Like, yeah. So anyways, just that, I just can't stand that. Just enjoy yourself. You know, what did you say? Like, you like licked a frog or something and your ego went away? Or?
Oh yeah, the Bufo various. Yeah, smoke some Sonoran toad venom, and it's called an ego death. Look it up, folks.
Wow.
And you basically die, and then you come back. You meet the creator, you come back, and you're really a different person at that point. There's no way you can really get around it.
Smoking frogs.
Yeah, it lasts for like 15 minutes, but you go to eternity.
Yeah,
like it's crazy.
Sounds fun.
Oh, it's a trip. It's
definitely not a boat ride.
You definitely leave your body. Cool. You're definitely gone.
It's tight.
Yeah. So fun times. And anything else you want to add?
No,
I think you nailed it.
Smoking toads, finishing it off with that. I like it.
And that's the first ever tee off report with Buttsy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I liked it though. I felt like really stupid and awesome.
It was on you.
Cool.
Yeah. There it is, folks. First segment of the tee off. And now here we go. We're heading right into the pro golf recap. And we're bringing on our guy. If I can figure out how to bring him on here. Hang on one second.
So he got that lit dog wiener going?
Does he have that dog wiener lit? Oh! Yeah. Look who it is.
We need intro music for Brett.
We really do.
Yeah.
Danger zone.
Danger zone. Highway to the
absolutely
danger zone.
How are we doing, boys?
Gosh,
that's a great question.
He's real quiet in my headphones.
Oh no! Remember he was so loud last time.
I'm fine with it. I'll just have to listen a little.
No,
harder.
hang on.
God forbid.
How about now? Go ahead and.
How about now?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
As long as it doesn't reverberate into the microphone, we'll be okay.
Butsy's headphones are giving him some problems. Last time, well, it makes sense that your headphones are giving you problems because last time we were in studio, as soon as we got done, you slammed them on the ground. Oh, fuck. Might be time for some new headphones there, Buttsy.
Sorry. Oops. My bad.
All right, Brent, we've got the Pro Golf recap, and we're going to start off with the Korn Ferry Tour Championship, which, in my opinion, and I know you share a similar sentiment, is that was the best event this weekend. Let's why don't you lead us off here and tell us a little bit about the golf course they were playing and a little bit about the Korn Ferry Tour Championship.
Well, thanks again for having me on, boys. Can't wait to be in studio next week. Yeah, I mean, French Lake Golf Resort, Pete Dye course. I met Mr. Dye at the U.S. Team Championship 10 years ago. Long story short, Mr. Dye said to me in all confidence and honesty, he said they gave me a blank check and I spent it all.
Love that.
So he moved more dirt for that golf course than he had in any other previous courses, what he said to me. And
that's a lot of dirt.
With a smirk, Mr. Dye, in his infinite wisdom, looked at me dead square in my soul and said, "Good luck." And the scores from quite possibly the most competitive tour in the world reflected that. I think the winner won at 9 under par, which is only one shot better than the closest number I think this year was at Raleigh, which was 8 under. Kaito Onishi won that.
So this place was set up.
Raleigh,
I mean, easy.
It's over 8,000 yards.
Which,
So
by
they-
the way,
yeah.
Brent, you and I were talking about it. We love the fact that they actually played a real golf course this week and that you actually had to see the guys compete. And I just think that they are missing the boat with the Corn Ferry Tour by not having them play golf courses like this week in and week out.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, French Lick is a pretty special place, but as I'm sure you're aware, Matt, being from New York, there are loads and loads of courses in the Northeast that are quite impressive, not just in difficulty, but also in fairness. I mean, they're just really good, solid golf courses. And man, that looked pretty good. But yeah, I mean,
Well,
it's an incredible.
I'll tell you right now,
place.
Brent. I'll tell you right now. There's a place called Pound Ridge, just on the New York side of Greenwich, Connecticut, that Pete Dye did. I mean, that could be another spot that they take everybody to. That would be a great Corn Ferry spot because there's nothing there, right? There's no real clubhouse. There's nothing really there. It's just a golf course, and it's phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that's going to continue to come up a lot is money, and that is something that
Is
the
what?
PGA Tour is money,
Oh,
and that is something that the PGA Tour is very limiting when it limits how much it puts on or puts into the Corn Ferry Tour, and so they spend somewhere to the tune of $20 million, and they don't get any of that back. And obviously, as a non-for-profit organization, they should have those types of things, and $20 million really isn't a whole lot, considering. I mean, to give you an example, Scotty Scheffler, I think, made somewhere to the tune of like what did he make, 50 or 60 million dollars this year, or something like that.
Something ridiculous, that's for sure.
20 or 30, more than 20 million. Not a lot of money according to Buttsy, but but yeah, I mean, French Lick is a special place, the hometown of Larry Bird. But the most disappointing part about the golf course is that nobody showed up. And the reason why they didn't show up is because French Lick is a unbelievably small town. And I believe it has one hotel, and the hotel is 150 years old. And it's a small farm town, and what a better place to put on one of the most competitive tours in the world than in the middle of nowhere. Because it's not like it really was really on TV in the first place. So
that's what's crazy. I mean, I was watching it, and all of a sudden, in the middle of the round, I'm tracking a player that I was telling you about, Capin, and I'm like,
Sapin. Yep, Sapin.
Sapin? Is that how you say it? Sapin?
It is how you say it. I made that. Frankie Sapin. No, it's with a C.
The third.
Yes, Frankie Sapin the third. Remember that name. It's
Sapin
the third. Be important. He's incredible.
So
He's good, huh?
I'm watching him, and all of a sudden they cut to the Champions Tour. I'm like,
what kind of bullshit is that?
Hang on a second. I'm actually really getting into it, watching this kid out there, and all of a sudden they cut to that on the third round coverage. I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
We'd rather show Rocco with the weirdest looking mouth in golf.
It's a lot of cigars. But yeah, I mean, the overarching theme really in all of my conversations over the last probably 3 to 5 years, after post COVID, when they were a little bit more open about how much money they were spending on COVID, and how much money was actually coming into the Corn Ferry Tour. It goes the PGA Tour, the Champions Tour, and then the Corn Ferry Tour. And so we're the last to feel any sort of budget surplus, and we're also the first to feel any sort of cuts. And I mean, Ryan French put out that article about the shortening of fields, and it's not going to really affect how the PGA Tour runs it, but it's gonna force them hopefully to invest more money into the Corn Ferry Tour. But that means that they would probably have to take it from the Champions Tour, which, based on the priority list, I don't see how that happens. Well, I just don't see how that happens. I don't have a lot of confidence in the budgetary issues being resolved with regards to the Corn Ferry Tour, unfortunately.
You hate to hear it. Well, tell us about the winner, Braden Thornberry.
Very, very good friend of mine. We probably have played and been paired with each other more times than anybody else that I can think of. He is by far one of the nicest human beings I've ever met. you know, he's incredible. Just a homemade game. It's a nice little bullet cut. Plays a 15-year-old. I think it's not a fastback. What's
tour bag?
No, the Scotty Cameron that he plays is an old. It's a fastback. It's exactly, but the old one, the real small special select, the silver one from like 15, 20 years ago. Putt's great with it. But he's had a tough run. He had 0 status starting the year in 2023. Almost won the LIV Tour qualifier last year, the first one that they held. So he could have been, a few shots away from actually being on the LIV Tour full time. Instead, goes and plays in the Korn Ferry Tour. Q School gets back on the Korn Ferry Tour, and finally, with a late surge, actually wasn't even supposed to be in the field at French Lake. Matt McCarty was not playing, so Matt McCarty, being the number 1 player by a mile, had no chance of losing. Matt McCarty is incredible, and he's worked really, really hard. He's a great lefty player. Hopefully. He remains level, and he's good. He's a good kid, really good hard work. He actually lives in Scottsdale. And he's a really good player. But long story short, Braden was 76th in the field, got in because Matt McCarty wasn't playing, wins with a bogey-free round on Sunday, gets some help from some missed putts and some bogeys down the stretch at a really tough golf course, and finishes 16th, which is a great place to be. And should get in all of the tournaments starting the year. It goes from 0 status in 2023 to a year later to being full pretty much on the PGA Tour and getting paid $400,000 coming here in about a week or so. So
there you go.
Pretty incredible. Okay. Super happy for him, and he's incredible. I love the kid. He's great.
I bought this instead of a Diet Pepsi because you fucking gave me so much shit last time.
Dude, only psychopaths drink Diet Pepsi.
I literally was like,
no, can't do it.
I literally went to the Diet Coke. God.
If you missed last week's episode, folks, go back and give it a listen because Buttsy had a Diet Pepsi. And
Diet soda.
I've only seen psychopaths drink Diet Pepsi,
now.
So now he's drinking Diet Coke.
Stomach rumbling, hands shaking.
Sugar.
Yeah.
Sucralose.
Unbelievable. All right. So there you have it with Braden Thornberry making a late charge. I love that. Love that idea, Brent.
You said he almost ended up on LIV.
Yeah.
So he did. He really did. And they actually, I just got an email today about the making sure I apply a release from the PGA Tour to make sure if I want, for example, if I wanted to go play the LIV Tour qualifier, I would have to apply to be able to go play.
Wow.
So there are.
Are you going to apply?
You got to.
Can we get some breaking news here? Are you planning on applying?
I would have to get about $15,000 from somebody to go play that, because that's very expensive.
First.
We should set up a.
I'm open for it.
A GoFundMe.
Yeah.
I actually saw one of my good buddies today. He works with the Aces, and he's having a grand old time being their media guy, and he was all for it. But obviously, it takes a lot of money. I think it's in Abu Dhabi or Dubai or one of those beautiful places, and that takes a lot of money to go over yonder. So, but anyways, that's enough about me.
No.
All right, now let's take it into the Alfred Dunhill Links Championship.
Super riveting coverage on that golf.
Who is Alfred Dunhill?
Alfred Dunhill. Yeah, who is this man that has a golf tournament like this named after him? What a fantastic gent he is.
Really,
It was held at 3 courses, folks: St. Andrews, Kings Barnes, and Carnoustie. And I'm going to start with you, Buttsy. Do you like these golf tournaments to where they play 3 different golf courses and the field is split into 3 and they play them on different days?
I don't. I think it's bullshit in terms of the draw. It's hard enough to get a AM PM draw with wind at the same golf course, let alone a different one. And a guy could literally just get effed out of a tournament from Mother Nature, right? Like you literally could just
especially over there, right?
Yeah. So I don't know. It's a gamble. There's 60% of the field that's got a way better opportunity than some of the other guys. So I think that's why I don't like it.
What about you, Brent? You ever play in one of these?
I played in the Amex, but obviously, as we're all very, very much aware, it's in a dome, so there's no such thing as a draw in the desert. So, but that's what's different. I mean, you got to understand. I mean, you guys understand this obviously, but for the average you guys are bullshit. For the average onlooker, the Dunhill Links is basically the DP World Tour's Pebble Beach. So that's why, I mean, it's being played at the home of golf in Carnoustie. I don't know where Barnes is in relation to, I'm sure it's got a ton of history, but obviously the final round is played at St. Andrews, which is, a religious experience from what I understand. But, but I mean, it's okay. So here you go. You got Trot Golf coming in with the hot news here. He developed a pipe design for motorists in 1904. Opened a tobacconist shop. Oh, I like this guy already. In St. James in 1907. Tobacco blends. Shops were open in New York and Paris in 1920. So big tobacco guy, which I immediately am in love with this guy.
Well, you're a big tobacco guy.
Big tobacco guy.
I couldn't see.
Yeah. I mean, so I mean, I don't know why they didn't even give me a call to come play. But anyways, so I mean, I mean that's why Jay and Yasir were there, and I mean it's a big time for all the sponsors to come in and to have their time with the players. And it just so happens that the players can win 1.5 million pounds or whatever it is. And all they got to do is put up with some very rich guys that may be shitty at golf for 3 or 4 days and call it a day.
Yeah. And the smart guys like Terrell Hatton decided, I'm going to bring my dad in, and my dad's going to play in this. And so that was a pretty smart move, because you're going to be hanging out with your dad for 4 days playing in this tournament, which, by the way, Terrell Hatton has won this golf tournament 3 times, folks. So this is not his first time winning this golf tournament, but he did win. Runner-up was Nicholas Kosarts, which he had a valiant effort, but he kind of blew it on 18. Ended up making par. Terrell Hatton ended up making a birdie, so don't get me twisted. But 18 at St. Andrews, you can drive it way up there, right? So he had a little bit of a chip. He could have putted it. Or no, I'm sorry, he did putt it. And he just left it short. I mean, it got up
in the Valley of Death?
He was. And so he went through the valley up to the top, and it just stayed there. He probably had about a 15-footer, which isn't bad to try to make birdie in order to push it into a playoff, but misses the putt. Terrell Hatton has about a 5-footer or so. Knocks that in like
Why does Terrell Hatton always win here?
Dude, Terrell Hatton loves
What
this.
is it?
Loves it.
Tyrese.
I mean, he's just, don't call him Tyrell. You know what I mean? It's just like
great guy.
Balls it up. Love that guy.
Is he a good guy?
I love his attitude on the golf course. I love how he owns it. That's what's awesome about him, right? That he bitches and moans and gets all upset and everything, but he does it in a way that it's almost like condescending, and he just owns it. He's like, he says that it helps him in majors because he's so used to being upset and pissed off all the time that your normal players that don't get all angry and everything on the golf course during normal tournaments, all of a sudden when they get to a major, they start getting pissed off and everything because of how difficult it is. And he goes, "That's just me all the time."
He just plays that way.
He's just like, that's completely normal. So it works for him. And it was a very strong showing by the LIV Golf guys. 4 players in the top 10 for LIV Golf. And it does beg the question, and once again, I will start with Buttsy on this one. Does the lighter LIV Golf schedule provide an advantage towards the end of the season for these guys?
Why would you say that?
Because it's a lighter schedule, they're more rested, and
I see what you mean. So they're not worn out by the time. Yeah, they got a little more.
It's a long season for a lot of the guys that play all the way through.
I mean, that kind of goes both ways, right? You could say they're more well rested, but they're also not as sharp from week to week because they're not out there doing it, as often as those guys are.
But they did just have their championships, right? So
they're sharpened up from that
individual championship and then the team championship.
Yeah. So that maybe it is a little bit of an advantage. Yeah. You could probably say that for sure.
Okay. Fantastic. What about you, Brent?
Thank you.
I mean, you got to think, right? The most of the top level LIV guys have been playing on the DP World since the team championship in Dallas, right? So some of them played in BMW, I believe. Some of them played in Spain. So I mean, they've been playing enough. I think, and this goes back to what we were talking about last week with Senior Ram. The majors and whatnot are going to specifically fit certain players, right? There's certain players for each one of the majors, and because it's normally at the same type of golf course. But I would say towards the end of the season, I think it's just the fact that they're more rested, and when they do get the opportunity to play a couple of weeks in a row and really kind of peak, the numbers seem to fit that. I think the difficult part about it is it's just towards the end of I guess you said the end of the season, right? Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think it does. They're a little bit more fit. I don't know where I was going with that.
So I'm in full agreement. I think the lighter schedule certainly helps them towards the end of the year. And like you just mentioned, they're playing some events on DP World Tour. They had their 2 big events for LIV Golf. I definitely think that helps because they're sharp and they're well rested. So needless to say, I asked that question on X and it was just about 50-50. But it was 52% said yes, that the lighter schedule helps the LIV Golf guys perform better at the end of the year.
As we know about polls, right, they're always 100% accurate. Always.
Absolutely. Always.
Yes. Of the entire world.
Especially the guys on the couch like me that just sit there and watch the game on TV,
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
I didn't watch a single shot of golf this week. I'm so happy.
Oh, that's fantastic work there.
So happy. I think I was just worn out by the President's Cup and I realized once again why I don't watch golf. And then when I watched really, really good buddies of mine play at a beautiful golf course and not get half of the coverage that a college match play championship gets, I've lost all hope in the coverage aspect of golf.
Well, talking about that, let's get into the Sanderson Farms Championship that had all the coverage in the world on the Golf Channel. The Country Club of Jackson in Jackson, Mississippi, and the winner is an ASU guy, Kevin Yu.
Oh yeah,
that is his first win on tour, and
I'm actually going to start. Applause.
Yeah, I'm going to start with you on this one, Brent. Can he be a breakout player on the PGA Tour after this win?
He absolutely can. And if you go back, so I've known Kevin for years. We actually had the same trainer for a few years.
Okay.
Just like me.
Actually, yeah. I mean, the only difference is
same.
Kevin and I, we're basically peers, but it's fine.
Is he a pretty strong guy?
So he's fairly strong, but actually he tore his ACL.
How much does he bench?
I have no idea. Oh. He doesn't really have. He's kind of a trunk kind of guy, right? So he's kind of low,
squats. Big
squats.
Squat
he's
guy.
Definitely a big squat guy. So much of a big squat guy that our trainer at the time, and I no longer work with this individual, although I like him as a person, I disagree with his training. He tore his ACL doing a plyometric test, we'll talk at some point about
how
I
feel
do
a backflip.
TPI. Yeah. I cannot do a backflip. No.
Me neither.
I do this.
Never have been able to.
I can do one.
I do this. Yeah? You do it in the pool? Is that where you do it? Okay. Yeah, me too. But yeah, so he tore his ACL, I think a year or two ago, while he was on the PGA Tour, and was playing out of the medical exemption category. And he's a phenomenal player. Has worked very hard to get to where he's gotten. And yes, absolutely, he will be a breakout player. Absolutely, without a doubt.
Fantastic. What about you, Buttsy? You like yourself some Kevin Yu?
I do. I really wanted. Who was right there? God, I was literally, you wouldn't believe this. I was on the treadmill watching this. Keith, no. Bo, the Haas, the coffee drinking. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good old Bo.
I watched this wedge that he hit, and it looked so good. And it like, if it flies the fringe by like another inch, I think he damn near makes it, and ended up kicking back, and he chipped that by like 10 feet. Ended up walking out with a bogey, but I would have really, like, has he won yet?
Who, Bo Hustler?
Yeah, he's won, right? No, he has he?
I think he has.
How well do you know Bo?
Has he not?
Well enough.
Yeah.
He's a California kid.
Yeah, loves coffee. Big coffee guy.
Kind of like Phil. We were talking about Phil and his coffee obsession last week.
Yeah, Bo's incredible. I don't know if you remember, he almost won the U.S. Open when he was 15.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great player. But he ends up losing in a playoff, loses it with a par. Kevin Yu makes that birdie.
Which is awesome.
And then we got Keith Mitchell. And we'll get to Keith Mitchell here in a few seconds. But Keith Mitchell 3 putts the final hole after having a putt to win the tournament from like 20 feet. And it's
easy to do on that green.
It is easy to do.
On the green, yeah.
As soon as he blew it by, like I think it was like 3 feet, 10 inches or something like that. So basically a 4-footer.
You feel like you knew?
It's one of those moments to where I'm just fuck, he's gonna miss this.
Like Rory.
Yeah. I mean, it was just like you could see the demeanor on him. He was so locked into the birdie putt, and then he it felt like he just kind of rushed that par putt. Yeah. And he lost focus. And it's very easy to do when you had that putt in order to win.
And now you're like, massive. The balloon has no air in it.
I've been there.
Exactly.
I've done that.
Exactly. Yeah. We all have. I mean, the 18th hole at Sanderson. I mean, it's a weird one. There's it's a kind of a short-ish par 4, but you
what
really
are you hitting in there? What are you hitting into that green?
I think it's a gap to pitching wedge to gap to 9-iron, depending on the wind and how firm the fairways are. But him having 20 feet means he probably didn't hit it where he wanted to, or he was coming from the rough. Again, I didn't watch it because I don't watch golf. But the difficult part about 18, I mean, so it's kind of like a ribeye shape, like it's got a thin part and then like a really big.
I had ribeyes the other night.
I had one tonight.
Like made them here.
Oh yeah, I'm a master at grilling ribeyes.
You did tell me this. Yeah.
I'm gonna have you over for some ribeyes.
Yes. Well, between Buttsy and I, we'll have some big critics as far as steak is concerned, but that could be another section.
Well, Brent likes to eat like the moving cow.
It's good for you.
And claim that he cooked it. I've seen this
good for you.
times.
Should have seen what I had tonight. It was good.
Yeah.
But
fantastic.
But yeah, no, it's easy to do. The greens roll like a 13 at Sanderson. That they're sort of tricky to read. But Keith, it's really surprising coming from him. He's actually not. He's a good putter. I got a feel for him. Keith Mitchell's a phenomenal guy and always been right there. And
just cool looking too.
Yeah, he's playing some good golf as well.
He's just got the. Oh, thanks. Can you turn that back on, please? Thank you.
Turn that back on right now.
The other thing that I will mention when you were talking about Bo Hostler hitting wedges, he hit a couple wedges. So in regulation, he hit it into the trees, had to punch out, and he stuck a wedge from 133 yards. Just stuck it in order to save his par and get into the playoff. And then he basically almost did the same thing in the playoff as well.
Yeah, so he's right there.
Bo Hostler's right there for sure. His driver was a little suspect, though.
I wonder what his odds were going into the week. Somebody was probably pretty pissed off that he didn't. Yeah.
No, he wasn't on our list last week for the top, I think, 12 players we had for betting odds. Neither was Kevin Yu.
How did my pick play? I didn't even.
I don't remember who that was.
I don't even remember who your pick was either.
Dunlap was my pick.
He did not play great. However, Eric Cole was up there. He had a shot Sunday, but there you go. Yeah, it really let me down. All right, let's take a moment for a commercial break.
Do it.
We're just gonna
a commercial break.
We do that.
The hell is that?
Our video editor asked on the live broadcast to create a moment to where we go to commercial for the mid-roll for the Swannies commercial that we do on the actual published version.
Special. That's special. How long is the commercial break? Is it like the NFL or is it like...
It's like 60 seconds.
Okay. Well, at least it's not like the PGA Tour where you feel like you need to go out and buy insurance, some sort of glasses, maybe some shoes, car,
some food, whatever. For sure.
You feel that way?
No, I feel like they focus on they have food in every commercial, but it's like a suggestion. It's like they're trying to mind control us into buying something with
like a pimento cheese covered spicy chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
Yeah. Nothing gets you quite excited for the Masters like that does.
Here's something that I actually have a question of. Why is it that the commercials are just all of the time, and yet we don't seem to be seeing the sort of revenue that maybe golf needs to have. Do you feel like?
What?
I mean, do you feel like? So I was speaking to Ryan French today.
I didn't understand the
No,
question
so
either.
think about this. So there are like probably 500 guys in this country that are like world-class players, right?
Yeah.
But you
for
don't
sure.
you most of them are either going broke or are broke or on the verge or whatever. And if you're not top 3 on the Corn Ferry Tour, top 25 on the PGA Tour, you're really not making that much money. Like, it's crazy how much money the organizations seem to be making. But,
Oh, you're saying they're taking in plenty of money with all of the commercial
Yeah.
money, and it doesn't seem to be filtering back down to the players.
exactly. More commercials than have ever existed, wouldn't you say?
Well, it's a nonprofit, right? So
Yeah, but it's a
probably going to the
nonprofit
local
because
Boys and Girls Club, and
Yeah.
I would
absolutely.
hope so, but it's not. That's the worst part about it.
Okay. Awesome.
It's not. Anyways,
And
here's a commercial break.
that leads us right into the Swanee style segment here, folks. So in the Swanee style segment, we've got the deepest V in the game. That is going to be our main topic for this one. And here we go. Keith Mitchell's polo on Sunday during the final round had buttons that went all the way down to his belly button. It wasn't a dress shirt style, so it didn't go all the way down, but it went all the way down to the belly button. And I'm not exaggerating. It literally went all the way down to the belly button. And I even had to do a double take when I saw it on Sunday. And he wore it in the final round. So the question that I beg to both of you, is there such a thing as a polo with too many buttons? Buttsy, start with you.
no, I think it's something that they used to do back in the late 40s to mid 50s, and it's very classic and
classic.
bold of him to bring that out.
Wow. What about you, Brant? How do you feel about it?
Man, I just saw this. He had it tucked in, I believe, right? He's got like what was the guy from Caddyshack? What was his name? What was the
Danny Noonan.
No, the guy played by
Oh,
Chevy?
the judge.
damn it.
Was it the
What's the-
judge?
That's all right.
No,
I know who
it was
you're talking
it was
about.
the other guy. Ty. The guy Ty, played by
Chevy
Chevy.
Chase.
Chevy
Good old
Chase.
Chevy.
He kind of had that kind of look. Keith Mitchell is he's just a stud, and he's got the look. He's not super jacked, but he's in some sort of shape. You can kind of see that he probably drink you under the table, but he doesn't. Doesn't really show it with like a massive Duffner gut. So I love it. He's also got the visor.
Yeah.
I mean the high visor. I mean, he's just a stud. I don't think many guys can pull it off. I think
I
when
bet
Ricky
he's a hell of a tennis player.
probably badminton, I think, is his game. Actually.
He looks like country club as hell. It's really cool. I couldn't.
But
pull
he's
it off.
country
You
club. But
might
he's
be able to
country
do it.
cool country club.
I've done it before. It's not my favorite look
Yeah.
that I have out on the golf course, but I feel like I could pull it off. Now, the one thing I will say is Keith Mitchell gives me Freddie Couple vibes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just a smooth
Former Nike
character.
athlete, by the way.
Yeah, he was a former
former
Nike
Nike
athlete, which was surprising when, you sent me something, Brent, over the weekend. You're like, is it Nike about Keith? And I'm like, no, I don't know what brand Keith Mitchell's wearing right now, but it had the
Linksole,
buttons
right?
for the collar, had it buttons down to the belly button. Now, I am going to say, I felt like the buttons was too much. There was too many buttons.
You didn't like it?
Maybe I love a deep, like, that gets kind of down into the middle of the chest. I would probably say if they eliminated 1 to 2 buttons, that would have looked really good.
It'd be funny looking wide open though, right? Unbuttoned
Oh
all the
my
way
God!
down.
If he just unbuttoned it, I mean, you're seeing everything.
Oh yeah.
You're even going to see some belly in there too.
Oh yeah.
Woo.
He's just,
So-
he's a stud though, man. I don't think many guys could pull that off.
I don't know if he pulled it
Sid-
off.
And Mashburn or Sid Mashburn, I believe is what it's called.
That's
I'm getting
the
like
gear?
multiple links here. Yeah, he's probably one of the only guys on tour
He's
that
got his own hair products too, right?
I
No,
think he
that's
probably
Paul Mitchell.
does. No, I think he's actually Paul
That's pretty
Mitchell's great
pretty
nephew.
good.
So
Oh, you're leaving me hanging.
Oh, sorry.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
Uh,
Editor, this is the time you put Keith Mitchell's head on top of a Paul Mitchell shampoo bottle. Something to that effect.
exactly how that goes. I think he's just got he's even got kind of like an old school swing and a follow through. So I mean, you could put him in any era, and he probably would would do pretty well. He's also a
You know what
phenomenally
brand
nice guy, super nice
yeah,
guy.
you know what brand he would be perfect for is cricket.
Don't say. I was just said. Do not say Malbon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Cricket. Hold on.
Because they've got
let me
the
go
old
through
school
Google later here.
polos.
That's why I was thinking like he looks like a country club tennis guy, but now that you say cricket, that's like even more. That's spot on.
Yeah. All right.
Hold on here.
Moving into the next side of this Swanee style segment. I mean, we kind of answered, is this a trendy style that he was doing? I feel like it isn't. I don't know.
It's just classical. Is the world ready for that?
It's not going to catch on. It's not going to catch on. I mean, you have how many? Name like the top.
I got
name the top
to my
golf
belly
brands.
button right now.
See, really?
Just two though. I feel like he had like 8 buttons. We'll have to do a button count on that shirt that he wore, but I feel like there was like 8 buttons. I'm saying that it is not a trend. It is not going to take off. It is not going to be something that people are going to be interested in because it is a tough look to pull off. And I don't even know if he
could be a fad.
Yeah, it could. I just feel like, man, just 2 buttons up, keep it classic. I mean, it can come all the way down to like your sternum, but once it goes below there, what are we doing? What are we opening up for?
Just put on a
And
romp.
it's not a dress shirt, right? Like it's
No.
not the dress shirt polo.
That's my biggest beef with this entire thing is like I've seen the golf dress shirt look, right? And like I don't really think anybody pulls that off.
Remember Phil
but
tried to do that for a while?
It's okay.
Yeah.
Ricky
But
did it.
this one, like the buttons ended at the belly button and then there was shirt. So it's like we still have to pull it over our head.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's tough to see. I mean, on Google, they don't really show you he seemed to have it unbuttoned like all the way to like mid chest area.
Yeah, oh yeah. He's a deep V
but
guy.
it kind of like, so you're saying it stopped at the belly button and then had it tucked in, or was there like a gap far enough to where it
Oh
could
no,
have
there was a
possibly
gap
been more
from the
buttons?
belly button to the belt buckle.
Like Captain Ron.
that was still like
Okay. I
yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
Tough-
Yeah, it's not the
tough one.
untucked Puma polo that Ricky
No.
pulled off in the tropics. That was a fad too for about 2.5 seconds, and then everybody realized that you can't do that at a country club.
They did.
Okay. Our next Swanee style segment topic is metal spikes because I noticed and heard from the announcers on when there was actually coverage on the Corn Ferry Tour Championship that they're like, oh, I just heard him clacking down the cart path with his metal spikes. And they were applauding the fact that of wearing metal spikes. So I wondered, I'm going to start with you, Brent, because we know you're a big metal spike guy. What's your feeling on the metal spikes? You love them, hate them, indifferent, or just is it a competitive advantage?
I think for those of us that struggle with slippage,
slippage is a good word.
It's imperative that we wear them. Some guys use it in like a Hogan fashion type thing where they have like a certain amount of metal spikes in a certain area. Myself, I use full metals. All 8 spikes in my FootJoy shoes have metals in them.
You're full metal.
Do you ever
full metal
walk
jacket,
on,
baby.
like when you go into the clubhouse, you feel bad about walking in there?
I have a short little story. I got piss test at the U.S. Open at LA
Impossible.
Country Club. Yeah, it's actually ridiculous. But I had to walk like half a mile in my socks throughout the entire clubhouse to get to some room. Yeah, it was ridiculous. So they legitimately put down, although it's at the PGA Tour, they have them everywhere. On the Corn Ferry Tour, we have to ask. But on the PGA Tour, they have carpets everywhere throughout the, like, laid down rent-a-carpet throughout the clubhouse, so guys don't have to take off their shoes. On the Corn Ferry Tour, we have to take off our shoes. Yeah, so it's a different sort of deal, but it shows you how little theyese announcers think of the tour pros on the Corn Ferry Tour. They don't think of them as tour pros. They just sort of think of them as, they're almost there. You'll get it, Sonny, kind of thing. But for the 40% of us that wear medals, it's actually hell being on the Corn Ferry Tour. It's a pain in the ass.
Wow.
But we got to do it.
What about you, Buttsy? How you feel about the metal spikes?
Buttsy, you're old enough to remember the old nails, right? You're an old man.
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
I mean, Tiger wore nails till not too long ago, I'm pretty sure. I'm all about metal spikes until I got to putt through your stupid fucking metal spike prints. And And if I was putting for that amount of money, because you can't fix those, right?
Yes, you can. Yeah, you absolutely can.
And
Yeah,
if
now you can.
But God, that would take ages to have to.
No,
sit down and just,
so I not to interrupt you, but there has been some
never.
talk about this. Yeah, I never do that. There has been some talk about the difference between the really deep plastic spikes that take up about an inch worth of green space, if you will, and the difference between one pinhole. And there aren't as many big fellas anymore on the big tours or even on the Corn Ferry Tour. So
what do you mean by that?
Yeah, I feel like that was
there are
that was a
people
shot
that
at
are
somebody.
that are not of a water buffalo / land buffalo status.
Wow, I feel like
anymore.
that was another shot at somebody here.
There are some smaller fit type individuals on.
What do you mean
professional golf.
about that?
Yeah, it's really
Their BMI isn't as high as.
What is a BMI?
I think it's body mass index, I believe.
Oh, I thought it was like an STD there for a second. Yeah.
So you're
Out of a
saying
water
that
buffalo.
I'm just going to summarize for you so you don't. Yeah. So you're saying that the plastic spikes they're saying could be just as, if not more hurtful than one.
I believe the talk amongst the professionals is that they're actually worse because it makes a huge indention, and rather than one little pinhole which you can just sort of tap down. So
yeah,
I mean,
maybe that's true.
It's different, but
okay. No, I like them. I like metal spikes. Like if I was going to like the PJ Superstore and I was going to buy a pair of spikes and they still had metal and the same shoe next to it was in plastic, and I was allowed on a golf course with them, I'd buy metal.
Wow.
Absolutely.
There it is.
Absolutely.
I don't know. 100%. Somebody once told me, hey, if you can play in tennis shoes and then you have really good balance in your golf swing. And so, yeah, I literally, ever since, I was way too influenced by this person. I don't even remember who the hell it was. That
just means you hit it short. That's all that means.
Well, or physics
short.
just.
Oh, we're gonna find out, Brent.
Short
back to you making fun of fat people,
and now short knockers
and
apparently.
Short guys.
Wow.
Yeah. It would make sense. Lateral physics, like if you're transitioning to your front foot or something like that. If you got a lot of upper body weight, or I'm not talking about myself here. I do slip a lot, but. There's no way I'm wearing fucking tennis shoes. I mean, I'd have to
Can't do it.
grow my nails out.
But you do. You wear Jordans.
Not on the golf course.
You know,
he has spikes.
Well,
he doesn't have metal spikes.
The golf ones, but those are just like tennis shoes.
Yeah.
Just a little bit more traction.
Yeah.
I
guess you're right. I don't slip that bad. Yeah. Anybody
well, I mean, you
sucks.
slip. Yeah. I mean, well,
I got bad balance. Probably something
yeah,
neurological going on.
All right, we spent way too much time on metal
Your
spikes,
fault,
folks.
dude.
I'm so sorry, everybody. We went down a goddamn rabbit hole with the metal spikes. But guess what, folks? We're back, locked in, heading into the Black Desert Championship preview. Folks, this is the first time the PGA Tour is back in Utah. Woo!
Yeah.
Man, and an absolute gem. And by the way, the last event, I had to look at my notes, was 1963. Last event played in Utah. And this is at an absolute gem of a golf course.
The Brigham Young Championship?
The BYU, a good old Soakers Fest. Now, the Black Desert Resort is a fantastic golf track, folks. It opened up in 2023 by none other than legendary golf designer Tom Weiskopf, who
Pronounce it correctly. It's Weiskopf.
Weiskopf. There is an F at the end. You are absolutely right. You got. Is that German? You think? Kopf.
It's Dutch. It's Dutch.
Dutch? Oh well, that's completely different. It's a par 71. We got yardage at 73.71, which at elevation it seems a little short, right?
Yeah,
it's very short.
So that's going to be an interesting slugfest out there. But there's a lot of black lava rocks out there, which it just looks fucking cool if you ask me.
Do they have to be black? Are you sure they're black?
Oh, they're black lava rocks.
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of lava do you think? What kind of color do you think lava rocks are there, champ? Red?
Obsidian. They're obsidian.
That would be volcanic glass.
I think I mean, he might actually be...
There's not a lot of volcanic glass there, but there is a lot of black lava stones.
A lot of black lava stones. Do you ever think that there was a volcano there in Utah, you think?
Yeah, I think they ever had a volcano, any type of volcanic You're kind of zerping over there. What's going on? We got a bad feed?
No, I'm just laughing. I'm trying to control my outbursts here.
It's all right.
It's fair.
Was that an
It's
actual
fair.
question? I'm sorry, I missed that.
No, it definitely was not. Just the fact that, folks, this is going to be an awesome golf tournament. I highly recommend everybody watch it.
They just finished the hotel, I think, just in time for the tournament.
Love that JIT, just in time. Yeah.
What's the hotel? I want to go there.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few.
I wanna do a golf
There's a few spots. Sand Hollow is another great spot in Utah. There's plenty of spots in kind of out in the middle of nowhere in Utah that are just these great, beautiful resorts. And they put, to me, most of the Arizona courses to shame. But that's just my opinion.
Okay. So, with that said, we've got and we went over this last week, the Aon Next 10. Now, what this is, folks, once again, is the fall season. There's 10 spots for guys to play their way into the Signature Series events next year. Kevin Yu breaks in to this list with the win last week. He is now number 60. He bumped Minwoo Lee. Ooh. Which some people might say sounds like a Diddy Freak Fest, but it is not. Okay, we're talking about golf here. Jake Knapp is 59. That's your nap time guy. Yeah, you love a Jake Knapp. 58 right now is Nick Taylor. 57 is Harris English. 56 is Justin Rose. 55 is Maverick McNeely. Then we've got Patrick Rogers. Good old Seaman Power, Seamus Power. We've got Tom Kim, and we got Mackenzie Hughes at 51st. So those are your Aon Next 10 players right now. Great stuff. Great stuff there.
You're right there, bro.
Yeah, you okay?
I'm recalling last podcast and the 3.5 hour
Seaman
session
Power
we had there. Seaman Power.
Oh, yeah.
Great Irish Navy legend.
Spicy.
Good old Seamus.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotta love a
Big
good
man.
Seamus.
Seamus.
So here's our field analysis and betting odds, folks. We got Keith Mitchell at plus 1,600. He is leading the way, by the way, with the odds makers. They love his game right now. Then you got Kurt Kitayama at plus 2,500. We got Bo Hostler and good old Seaman Power at plus 2,800. Chris Kirk at plus 3,000. Patrick Rogers, Ben Griffin, Eric Van Rooyen at plus 3,300. JJ Spawn, Patrick Fishburne, Chan Kim, Harry Hall, Stephen Jägermeister, and Ryan Fox at plus 3,500. Then we've got Lucas Glover, Michael Thorbjornsson, and Andrew. Wow, see, this is why we got the Tour Insider here. He knows the pronunciations of these names. Say it one more time. Michael Thorbjornsson.
Thorbjornsson.
Bjornsson.
You walk up to him, just like, sup,
Tor Bjornsson. Oh, I got it. There it is. And then Andrew Novak at plus 4,000. So we're just gonna go over our picks. These are not betting picks, folks. I'm putting out the caveat that it is, or the statement, these are not gambling picks from us, so that Brent can participate.
Oh, yeah.
So who do you like this week there, Buttsy? Why don't you start us off?
I like a JJ Spawn.
I knew you were gonna go JJ
Spawn.
What about you, Brent? Who you like this week?
Is it a tough driving course?
It is because of all the black lava rocks. Yeah, not obsidian.
That's right. So that takes out Bo Hostler and Kurt Kitayama.
Yep.
Yama.
Yeah, I mean the struggle here is that nobody's played this golf course before.
Nobody.
Right.
First time.
So there's a couple of guys in the field that I believe are actually from Utah. Patrick Fishburne being one of those guys.
Go farther there?
Oh yeah, it does much further.
Elevation.
I think it's like 45 or something like that.
It's pretty high. They got about 2,000 on us.
Yeah, it goes far. Bob go far.
Be like Shep.
Yes, actually, almost exactly like that. Only just a completely different scenery. Again, none of the black volcanic rocks.
Yeah.
Obsidian, but it's fine. I mean, from this list, it's kind of tough. I mean, Ryan Fox, Keith Mitchell, Chris Kirk drives it okay. Lucas Glover might be.
Well, you
might
don't
be
have to
there.
pick from the gambling
you can
odds.
pick whoever's
you can
in the
pick
field.
whoever's in the
I mean,
field.
just to go about your conversation real fast. Hold on.
Okay,
Field.
I'll tell you what. I will go with my pick here. I'm loving myself some Lucas Glover this week. I don't know why. I just love me some Lucas Glover this week. He had the putter going. I just feel like, hey, if he can put and Lucas Glover to me, if he can just put it in play, he's going to do pretty damn well.
He's a good player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Is that
now
just coming from the universe, Hatcher? Like,
yeah, just
It's
Lucas
speaking to you?
Glover. It is.
Who did you? Lucas Glover. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Doesn't
the
usually
TJ's
play
mom.
well in the Southwest, but that's fine. You know what? I'm gonna go with my boy, my guy, long hitter, that llama, Trey,
I thought he was
the
going to
one
go
and
long,
only,
long.
the one and only Trey Mullinax.
Trey
Just
Mullinax. Wow, big
Special,
pick there.
big man. He's a big man. Hits it a long way, and he's coming off an injury, but we're pulling for him.
I just
Love
heard
that
big
guy.
man coming off.
Exactly.
off, big man,
Yeah.
long,
Yes,
Long.
exactly.
long, big man.
Everything
coming
about
off.
it, just big man coming on. Long driver. That
Here
llama.
we go again, folks.
No, we are not going.
I love it. I'm ready for it this time. Let's go.
All right, there you go, guys. We've got our
picks.
picks in. Good picks. I love the diversity there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We're
Now to the
inclusive.
real conversation.
Now to the real conversation, my friends. This is our LIV Golf update. Okay.
A lot of smoke. Do we know anything about what
I
happened
do.
between?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to start off, though, with kind of what has already been teed up for us by good old Rory McIlroy, which Rory says, I think by year's end, whether the public investment fund will invest in the PGA Tour enterprises, that doesn't solve the problem, okay, of where we find ourselves in golf, the schedule, and everything. Interesting that he talked about the schedule, right? However, there's a couple important things to note because Rory is part of the negotiating team. So that was his role that he got added back to, that he gets to negotiate in those meetings with Piff. And so he knows more than what he's leading on to. And he did say that he predicts that all the tours are going to remain separate for the next couple of years, or in how he put it, the foreseeable future. So there you have it. We're not going to see LIV Golf
We're not
merged.
blending. Yeah.
LIV Golf isn't going anywhere. It's going to be around for a couple more years as long as Piff decides, hey, we're going to keep pumping money into it. It's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. But Rory did also mention that he looks forward to hopefully seeing more events to where guys are able to play wherever they want to play.
They're going to start finally working in concert with each other, like they should have been the whole time.
Well, DP World Tour is, right? DP World Tour now is basically the pathway for LIV Golf guys to be able to play.
Yeah.
And I think that's fair to say that, that relationship with
Play
the
in the
PGA
majors.
Tour and everything, that allows, that gets away from the conversation about the official World Golf Rankings. Those guys can gain those points now on the DP World Tour. They can play in as many events as they need to in order to gain enough points. So that kind of mutes out that side of it. The other part to this is that there was a hug heard around the world between Jay Monahan and Yasir Al-Ramayan. Now, was that on your bingo card, Buttsy?
Say that one more time. I'm sorry. I had a pretty alarming text there telling me that I got some pretty bomb-ass food sitting home.
Oh, okay.
Go on. So,
I was hoping everybody was okay.
yeah, no, sorry. Say that again.
So there was a hug heard around the world between Jay Monahan and Yasir Al-Ramayan.
They actually touched each other?
They hugged at the end of their playing together.
That's cute.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that probably gave Jay a little tingle in his nethers. It's something
I think
that's
he
been
was
built
told.
up for a
I
while.
think he said. Yasir said, "You give me a hug. Come here. You will hug me."
Yeah,
now."
you don't. Yeah,
That's
you,
what he said.
you think he got commanded?
I think Jay was motion. You come here. I will.
They were
hug you."
smiling. It looked like they liked it.
I'm sure they.
How can we
I'm
not
sure,
just pull this up right here, right
I
now?
know.
God.
And I bet it happened on TV. Right? Is that right? So
It did.
would it have happened if there were no cameras around?
Just like the bear shitting in the woods. Does it smell? We don't know.
Does Yasir smell?
Probably smells like sandalwood and Bugatti Chiron.
I do wonder, is it oils that he's putting on for deodorant? We don't know. We don't know these things, you know? We're not that close.
I can
However,
imagine.
What cologne do you think Jay wears?
Jay's
Polo.
Polo Sport.
The cheapest
No,
and
no.
the cheapest.
Polo
and
Sport.
The cheapest.
Well, he gets it at Marshall's, okay? Nothing, and I love Marshall's.
I was going to
I'm just going to say,
Aqua
I
Velva.
love Marshall's.
All right.
So there's nothing wrong with shopping there, folks. But
No, absolutely
Marshalls?
not. But
Sorry, we're getting off track. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say this right now. Jay Monahan surprised me this weekend. It wasn't the hug heard around the world. It wasn't how happy they looked as they were chatting around the golf course together. It was actually his golf game. No, his golf swing was actually a lot better than I thought it was. Like, he actually has a decent freaking move at the golf ball.
oh, that's nice.
Jay or young Jossizi?
No, Jay.
Oh, okay.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
And Jay's got a little bit of that Tom Watson, like that the front leg doesn't exactly post, so it kind of bends with it.
Okay.
It's interesting, but he's got a good move at it. It was very surprising.
Wait,
now,
so are we saying that the hug was more captivating than the fact that these two titans of industry were playing golf together and showing solidarity? That I think that was the point, right? I mean, it's so very important that we show unity in golf. You know, we're just. Oh wait, hold on. Never mind. I'm sorry. I went off on a sarcastic rant there for a second.
Are you insinuating that they somehow did this as some sort of a marketing ploy?
How dare you?
Oh,
How
man.
dare you?
How dare you? I can't even believe you'd think
How
that.
dare you say that?
I can't believe it either. I can't believe it's not butter.
Butter.
I can.
Do you have any
baby
Grey
oil.
Poupon?
Grey Poupon. Never had it.
Remember
More of a
that?
margarine.
I do.
I'm more of a
I've had it.
margarine guy.
Oh, margarine. That'll get you going. That'll clog up the pipes real quick.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, baby. Come on.
Any other comments
Anyways.
you guys want to make about? I mean, I'm going to kind of leave it at that. Which nothing came out of it, right? We didn't hear anything other than Rory's comments around the entire thing. I've talked to some sources as well that are privy to some of the things that went on in that meeting between the three leaders,
three
I'll say.
amigos.
The three amigos, with the one guy with the pinky dink, as we mentioned, good old DP World Tour CEO. Poor guy. I mean, just has
Jay's
no
just
say
a
whatsoever
little
in that
bigger
room.
than that guy.
Just literally just holding his ear up to the door, like, "Hey
Yeah.
guys, can I just listen in?"
Yeah.
It's like, sure, why
Thanks
not?
for having me.
Yeah.
Super nice man.
But I
mean,
agree with some of the things that Rory said, by the way, and I'll let you chime in here in a second, Brent. Is that really I just don't see anything changing this year from what I've been told.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can all go on probably a whole separate podcast on, and might even write a book at the end of all this. But yeah, I mean, you think about what just got announced by the PGA Tour with regards to the schedule change. And when I say schedule change, I mean like with the limiting of playing opportunities, limiting of fields, and what that means for 2026. Now, obviously, they're not going to make they shouldn't make any change for 2025 because obviously there are 35 plus guys coming as rookies after Q School. But it's interesting that what he decides to talk about is where we find ourselves in golf as far as the schedule is concerned and everything else. LIV Tour has been around for how many? 3 years? 4 years?
3 years.
Now? 3
Yeah.
years. They have never said that they want to see the PGA Tour crumble, or they want to see it go away, or anything like that. And they actually attempted. They've actually attempted to work with the PGA Tour, clearly. But here you are having a guy that plays, I think, less than 25 events in the season, 25 events total, 30 events total in the entire
He's still
season.
going.
It was 15 seconds, Buttsy. Thank you. I mean, there will be a segment here coming up. What grinds my gears? I'm gonna go full Peter Griffin here soon. But,
Peter.
Yeah. I mean, think about that, right? So where we find ourselves in golf. What are you talking about? Like what is the problem with the way the PGA Tour is run currently, other than the fact that they continue to fund things that don't really matter and the elevated events and all that other stuff? I mean, what is so wrong with the way golf is right now? I just don't understand. Oh, is it?
I just think players should be able to play wherever they want to play. At this point, I just think, LIV Golf has its niche. I feel like the PGA Tour, the purists are always going to prefer that model over LIV Golf. And there's just, I don't see every top player wanting to go play on LIV Golf. I just don't.
I'd like to see them give an opportunity to every influencer that has a big following. No, like a real one, like, hey, your turn.
Yeah, it's
We're going to show the whole world that you fucking suck in real life, too. So you're playing this tour event this week. And then, I'm just trying to think of a way to like kill these guys off proverbially. And I think that would do a lot to disprove.
Do you guys think that the problems in golf are where the problem?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Doesn't solve the problems where we are in golf. Do you think that the problems are created by the PGA Tour? Do you think that they're actually the source of
what problem?
And when I say PGA Tour,
they were the problem to begin with.
Yeah, they didn't want to play.
They drew the line in the sand. I still remember. Yeah. It's when we first started this podcast, on 3 years ago, at the Genesis closed door meeting. Jay Monahan drew the line in the sand. Anybody that goes over to this LIV Golf circuit is going to be suspended. That's all. And you will lose your privileges. You will not be eligible for the retirement, anything along those lines. And so to me, that was the turning point. That was the mistake that was made. I think if they just let LIV Golf do its thing, that it might not have even survived in the very beginning. Remember there was, what was it? The Premier Tour Championship or whatever it was that was before LIV. That was like they were sending letters out to guys trying to entice them. And then LIV came after that. Like this has been going on for a while.
Norman started with the World Golf Championships.
This happened in like 96, didn't it? Like he tried to make this happen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No World traction. Tour. I mean, the only thing that Norman has ever really asked is that PGA Tour players do what they're talking about, and the tour does what it says, which is be a worldwide game. And it hasn't happened. I mean, there's an entire 3 continents that don't see really anything from the PGA Tour. I mean, it's a sad state that we find ourselves in. But what's funny is that the people that cause the problems are ones that are trying to fix them, even though they continue to cause the problems. It's an odd thing that they're trying. It reminds me of some other organization that doesn't really quite come to. But we can talk about that.
Would you turn down a Masters invite?
Oh, let's put that up here. Let's see.
Who's this?
Because I did.
You turned it down.
Masters invite?
Yeah. Did you hear the breaking news?
No.
This morning?
Got a call yesterday. Fred Ridley, been watching you for years. We like your moves, what you've been doing on Instagram. Had some guys follow you, PI, like just kind of staking me out. And they've seen the plays and the things that I do in my life. So I got an invite to play in the Masters, and not like as a joke. Like you're actually in the event. You don't have to win a PGA Tour event. We're going to circumvent that. You get Butler Cabin all to yourself, closing it down.
Because you are, because you're Butler.
Yeah. And I thought about it, and I said, no. I'm not going to do that.
What were your top 3 reasons for doing that?
Because it looks like a really hard golf course, and it doesn't. And there's a lot of people out there, and they have expectations.
And it doesn't suit your left to right. It doesn't suit your left to right. What's this podcast called? The podcast is called Full Hook. Yeah,
but
for those of us, but you hit it to the right.
Long story short,
a lefty that can cut the ball, though.
Yeah,
huge advantage out there at Augusta.
I know a guy that did that. What's his name?
Bubba Watson, Phil Mickelson.
Fig Jam. Big jam.
But back to me.
Fig jam.
Yeah.
Back to me here. So I turned it
Hockey's
down.
good. Just asking.
I turned it down. So, anyways, I wanted to know your take. If you were given the opportunity, would you have the same reaction as me, or would you go play?
Yeah.
And I haven't let the world know that I turned it down. I think people are expecting like I should take that
I think they know
opportunity.
now. I think they know now. You just made the major
The
announcement.
entire world knows now.
Yeah.
Not easy. Took me a few minutes to think about it, and so
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. Hey, it's okay.
I'm proud of myself.
I'm
dude.
proud of you.
You did very well.
I called my
Were there
mom
any
and-
moral reasons that you felt that? I mean, I feel like there's a moral.
I don't really have many of those.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Diet Coke and Diet Pepsi. Yeah, you probably don't really have any of those.
Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
Would you take it? Would you go?
Me or Matt?
You think you could handle that? You don't get
Matty
to practice
Cook.
either. You just
Now
gotta go
on the
tee
tee
it.
at Augusta National. Matt
tomorrow.
Motherfucking Cook.
I would do it because
You would do
of
it.
the experience.
You think you could
Well, that's
peg
what
it
it's
on?
about.
You think you could get the ball on the tee on the first hole?
Probably not. Yeah, I'd be shaking like a fish.
Now the number one tee, Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
oh,
I'll say this: there might be some people that get hit with a golf ball out there.
Yeah.
There might be a few putter throws, but I would accept it.
I'd blow the back out of the first porta john on the golf course. Another reason I wouldn't take the job.
because you would wreck Butler Cabin
I
forever.
would burn a hole right through a plastic porta shit.
Oh, Jim Nance, here we go. What do we got now? Oh, Butler Cabin has just gone down. They are saying that a man by the name of Buttsy just
flooded.
took out the entire first floor of the Butler Cabin. What a disaster over there. It's flooding. Look at that. There's brown stuff coming out of Butler Cabin.
Yeah.
It'd be the most exciting thing ever to happen in golf. And it wouldn't be golf.
Shit. I dropped a chocolate beaver off in there this morning, man. I clogged a pipe up, and they ain't had new pipes there in over 75 years. And I told him, man, I eat a lot of meat and a lot of food in general. And I just dropped this little chocolate beaver out. This stuff, the pipes clear up. That's why I bring a raft with me, and I was able to inflate the raft and roll myself out to the practice area to get ready for my day.
There you go. There you have it. Full analysis.
Yeah.
You actually wear the aircraft inflatable vest on, you know, the one you can pull on each tab and inflate on your own. You have to put that on. The FAA said you had to put that on every time you put it on. Oh God, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die doing these podcasts. Holy shit. I'm gonna laugh so hard doing these podcasts. I don't think I'm gonna be able to come into the studio. I'm gonna have to wear a mouth guard.
By the way,
Wear a
folks,
mouth guard.
by the way, next week, Brent is in studio. We don't know how we're going to fit him in here, but we are going
smoke.
to fit him in.
All right.
You're going
Can't smoke. So.
No smoking. I mean, you're going to have to. But what I do want to see, though, is you fake smoking in here with the cigar. Just don't light it. Well, you'll be fine.
I'll be that guy that buys really cheap cigars and just chews on them.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
They make like cigar flavored vapes and stuff. I could look into it for you.
Yeah, we
Wow.
don't need to do that.
Matt allows vaping in here.
Yeah.
We're purists over here at the Tobacco Excellence,
Okay.
whatever, you know, just like Alfred Dunhill, you know, big time tobacco purist. What were we talking about? Butsy's
He's a
turning
tobacconist.
down
A lot of things.
tobacco.
No, we're past that. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
we
we're way
you
past the
said you'd
Masters
do it.
invite. I
You'd
would do it.
I-
You declined it.
I did decline.
And Brent, you
I
we
play golf
we
for
don't
a
know what
living.
to say about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything we would say at this point would probably be insulting.
Yeah.
So we're just not going to say
know,
it.
I think it's more fun to just let it rip. So, you know, just go ahead
Let
and
it
keep it going.
rip. Wow.
Very good.
Yeah, very good. We also, next week, folks, with Brent in studio, we have a major announcement that we will be announcing next week. So make sure to tune in to our episode next week because this major announcement you do not want to miss, folks. So just
And we don't
just
know what it
that.
is. We have no
Nobody
idea
knows what it is. We don't even know what it is, but it is going to be a breaking news, big major announcement. Okay.
That's gonna be a
That being
clip.
said, we're gonna wrap this up.
Could you tell me what that might be? I'm really
Yeah, I don't think anybody knows.
so
I don't even know.
confused.
We're just gonna figure out some type of big breaking news announcement.
Okay.
By Saturday, we should know. Folks,
we all know what we're talking about. So it is what it is. So that being said, we do want to thank our sponsors, Swannies Golf. Folks, I am rocking the Stadium Village collection over here. It is nice.
Get the pull. Go give him a little Keith Mitchell there. Show him the pull.
Just a little.
burning up over there in the sweater vest.
No, it's nice and chilly in here. I'm telling you right now, it is fantastic over here. It's nice. It's a pleasant 73 degrees in the studio
with a breeze.
We got a nice little breeze in here.
I can't wait.
But folks, use Pullhook Golf 25 at checkout for 25% off your entire order at swannies.co. Until next week, folks. Same bat time, same bat channel. A-Town, down, folks. Peace out.